Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed, and to those who just came across my page, please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Please do well to turn on your notification so you can get notified about when I drop tutorials here. Today's tutorial, we're going to be making this hairband. I call this the ruffle design, just one of the many designs that we can make using the Alice hairband. Let's get right started. The materials needed for this particular tutorial is just your fabric, your Alice hairband, the measuring tape, your scissors, and then needle and thread for sewing. Now, I got this fabric from my scrap bag. My scrap bag is where I keep pieces of fabrics that I don't want to discard, knowing that I can still use them to make money. I always say, don't discard your fabric. Don't discard those pieces of fabric. If you're a fashion accessory designer or a fashion person, those tiny fabrics, they can actually still fetch you money. So back to the tutorial. So I picked this particular fabric, and then it has two patterns. Because I want the both of them to show for this particular hairband, I went on to join them together so I can have two different patterns. For my length, I use 13 inches, and then for the width, I'm using 6 inches for the width. You go ahead and just cut this out. Now let me point this out. If you want your ruffles to be fuller than mine, you can increase the length of your fabric from 30 to something more, because the more fabric you have in length, that's how your ruffles is going to be full. I just wanted 30 inches, so I had to use 30 inches. So if you want yours to be fuller than my own hairband, you can increase the length, but the width should still remain 6 inches. I'll take this my sewing machine. On fold, you're going to be having 3 inch on both sides. So on fold, I'm just going to use 0.5 to sew this together. Okay, doing this on fold simply means that I'm going to be having 3 inch on both sides. So I'm just going to be measuring 0.25 on my measuring tape. That means my length is now going to be 2.75. So I'm using 0.5 to sew, meaning 0.25 on this side, 0.25 on the other side, like the back. And then I'll just go ahead and just run this through and turn it over. My Alice hairband is 1 inch wide, so I'm going to take this to my fabric, and then the space I want to leave for the Alice hairband is actually 1 inch. So when you measure this out, you realize that you have 2.5. Remember, I already used 0.5 to sew, so you're going to be having 2.5 inches. So on the left, I'm going to do 0.75 rather on the left. Then I'll take it and then I'll measure my 1 inch. The remaining one, if you measure it, is supposed to be 0.75. That's now balanced it out to become 2.5 inches. I hope that makes sense. Let me repeat it again if you don't understand. On the left, I'll have 0.75. At the middle, 1 inch. At the other edge, 0.75. I'll make a straight line and then take it to my sewing machine and then sew that down. I'll sew where I have that 0.75 on the left and on the right side. I'll just run that down, leaving me with 1 inch space in the middle where my hairband is going to enter. While you're getting that done, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, share, leave a comment, ask me any question you want to get clarity on, and I will gladly answer you. Please help me grow my YouTube channel. I really appreciate your engagement on my YouTube channel. This will encourage me to do more tutorials. Okay, now we're done with sewing. We're just going to take your Alice hairband and insert it into that 1 inch space you left. Just go ahead and insert this into it like this. Keep moving it until you are at the end of the fabric. Now we have gotten to the end. You will just take this like this and then fold it down, fold the other parts down. If you have your candle wax gum, it's going to be a little bit more easier, faster rather. I actually use my candle wax gun to do this, but there's no power supply at the moment, so I'm going to be using my sewing needle and thread. So you're going to take that down using your candle wax gun to hold it. But like I said, I'm using my needle and thread here because there is no power supply. So please just carefully watch what I'm going to do. So what we have done for the other part, we'll do for this part. Now there's something I want to point out. Because I'm not using candle wax gum, if I was using my candle wax gum, I would have used the candle wax to glue a bit of the fabric to the hairband so it doesn't move, right? But since I'm not using my candle, I'm using my needle. I will intentionally use the needle to pierce a little, pierce the hairband through a bit, like ensure that my needle touches the hairband so that my fabric is firmly fitted to the hairband. And if I try to maybe by mistake or intentionally try to pull it out, it won't go off. I will intentionally use my needle to pierce a part of the Alice hairband or pass it through the Alice hairband a bit so that my fabric stays put on the hairband. I'll just finish this up using my lighter to burn off any part that I'm seeing thread showing or fraying. I'll just burn that off so that I have something really neat. And we are done with the tutorial actually. It is really simple. You can do this in less than 30 minutes. Thanks for watching to the end. I really do appreciate that you stayed till now. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. This is what we have here. We are done with our tutorial for today. See you again next week, Wednesday. Please like, share, comment, ask questions, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am grateful. Thank you and bye.